Hello, gamers, nerds, and movie buffs. It's John of Video Games and the World with the weekly news. I'm sorry for not uploading for the past couple of weeks because I had a lot going on and things have been hectic. And I had to put my own state of mind first and calm myself down for a moment due to many personal problems I've been having, a lot of issues in my personal life that I cannot even mention. But at last I am back with the Video Games and the World weekly news once again. I got much to inform all of what I have seen, heard, and read about this week. Let us start with the first news. The Lord of the Rings, a trilogy of epic fantasy adventure novels written by J.R.R. Tolkien, which was adapted into an animated movie in the 1970s and a movie trilogy in 2001, which won multiple awards, including Best Picture. This series also spawned video games in which many of them were loved, others loathed. However, the game based on the series, which was released in the 1990s on the Super NES, was a total abomination. It had good music indeed, but it was a very, very bad game. Ask Angry Video Game Nerd or SNES Drunk, they'll tell you that it's bad, and I mean bad. I've played a lot of bad games, but that game for the Super NES makes garbage look good. Dios mío. Anyway, a new Lord of the Rings RPG video game has been confirmed to be in development for some time now, and it has said to be a third-person video game that will compete against the popular yet controversial video game Hogwarts Legacy. I guess there's gonna be a competition between the world of Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. I remember when I was 15 years old, there were people arguing over which one was better, Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. A lot of people who were huge Lord of the Rings fans would say that Harry Potter was only for little kids, and if you like it more than Lord of the Rings, you were most likely a little kid. I never participated in that kind of argument because I liked both. But I was more of a Tolkien fan than a J.K. Rowling fan, and I still am to this day. Now, the first 3 books of Harry Potter series, such as Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, are lighthearted, yet dark. But from Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire to Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, that's when the series got darker and more mature-oriented. Enough of that now, we must move on. Sources close to the game tell Insider Gaming that a new title is set to be, at least partially, funded by the Abu Dhabi Investment Office. This funding should roughly equate to $100 million, give or take. The deal has been in the works since last year, and while not signed yet due to the number of moving parts, is set to be made official soon and could happen as early as next week. Regarding current funding of the game's development, it has been funded internally. As far as what the game will be, sources didn't want to say too much. In addition to the audio, it was said that multiple parties are involved with the game, including Embracer, Revenge, and other studios. Embracer has had the rights to the Lord of the Rings IP for video games since 2022, when it paid nearly $400 million. Well, if it's competing against Hogwarts Legacy, I would say that it shouldn't do that. This RPG game should not try to compete with Hogwarts Legacy, and it should be its own thing instead. Besides, we got so many games competing with other games as well. I just hope that this game is so much better than the Gollum game, which I believed looked kind of meh. It was interesting to make a story about how Gollum came to be, but it would have been better as a movie than a video game, to be honest. If you disagree with that, okay. To each their own, cada uno con lo suyo, as they say. The Silent Hill series of video games was developed by Konami, releasing its very first game on a PlayStation since 1999. This series is psychological survival horror and often considered a pupil of the Resident Evil series of video games. The only difference is that Resident Evil is science-oriented in terms of horror, while Silent Hill is more focused on the supernatural. This game became very popular that it spawned sequels and a live-action movie in 2006, which in my opinion was an amazing movie that, although it had Sybil Bennett, Dahlia Gillespie, Lisa Garland, and Alyssa Gillespie, it was an amazing movie that was faithful to the source material, with references to the 2 first games, which included all the creatures including the iconic Pyramid Head. The next movies were terrible, though. I also remember 10 years ago, there was going to be a new Silent Hill video game called Silent Hill starring Norman Reedus, but was unfortunately canceled thanks to Konami. Idiots. I had such high hopes to play that game, and I was looking forward to do so, but they canceled it. What were you thinking, Konami? ¿Qué estabas pensando? It was a collaboration between Hideo Kojima, Guillermo del Toro, and Norman Reedus. I still remember playing that demo and screaming my heart out when that ghost, Lisa, appeared. Let's not also forget that talking bloody paper bag as well.
I walked. I could do nothing but walk. And then I saw me walking in front of myself. But it wasn't really me. Watch out. The gap in the door. It's a separate reality. The only me is me. Are you sure the only you is you?
Creepy and scary. So much potential to be an amazing video game. Squandered, all thanks to Konami getting greedy. Anyways, Bloober Team has officially confirmed that its remake of Silent Hill 1 is now in full production. This game development team is known for its hit title, Chronos: The New Dawn, which gave me vibes of Dead Space, Resident Evil, and Silent Hill. According to the company's management, Bloober Team currently operates with two internal first-party production teams. One of these is exclusively focused on Silent Hill 1 Remake, while the other is engaged with a separate undisclosed project. In addition, the studio revealed that 5 more titles are being developed through second-party collaborations. The confirmation provides clarity for fans who have been waiting for updates since Konami first announced the remake in partnership with Bloober Team. While the studio did not share a release window or new gameplay details, acknowledging that the project is in full production signals that development is progressing beyond the early stages. Judging by how Chronos: The New Dawn was well received, I can only hope that Bloober Team does the remake justice. Since they are developing the Silent Hill 1 remake, those are some big shoes that the developers are filling, and I can only hope that they do not screw this up. There have been remakes of classic titles that I remember playing when I was in my teens, and some of these remakes were amazing, like the Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 4 remake, Dead Space remake, and some of them were not so good, like the Resident Evil 3 remake, I might add. This announcement of this Silent Hill 1 remake game just in time for this month of spooks and scares, since Halloween is slowly creeping up on us once again. Before we continue, tonight on my gaming channel I'm making a live stream of Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon. This month of October on my gaming channel you'll be watching horror themed games because it's the month of spooks and scares as Halloween is approaching. Remember Dan Forden, known for his iconic word in Mortal Kombat whenever you landed an uppercut and where Scorpion did his burning fatality in Mortal Kombat 2? Toasty! That's right. Dan Toasty Forden, who was a sound programmer and later art director in the Mortal Kombat series since the 2D era, has announced that he's leaving NetherRealm Studios. Wednesday was his last day at the studio, and he said the following on Instagram: "We made a lot of fun stuff over the years. I'm really proud of what we have accomplished as well as how much fun we had making that stuff. There are so many smart, talented people here. Look for more great things to emerge over the next several years. We wouldn't have lasted 37 years in the industry if fans weren't out there playing the games we made. Thanks to all of you for supporting what we've done." His last project was being sound director in Mortal Kombat 1, which a lot of people had mixed feelings about. As someone who played Mortal Kombat since the first game when I was 6 years old, I really enjoy the music, the sounds, and also his Toasty word as well. All I have to say to you, Dan, is thank you for everything you've done for us with this amazing series. Good luck to you. Shirley Curry, who is affectionately known as the Skyrim Grandma, announced that she will retire after 15 years in Bethesda's own iconic RPG video game. I remember talking about her last year, and she commented on my video, and seeing her comment was such an honor, and I felt very happy. She has really good content on YouTube, and now she is retiring. Now approaching 90 years old, Curry says in her latest video, My Goodbye to Skyrim, that I am no longer going to be uploading Skyrim content. She'll be totally missed. Curry notes that aside from a few older regular viewers, most of her viewers seem to be very young kids, children, and I'm not getting any feedback from them on the videos. Curry says she'll still upload a vlog once in a while when I have something to talk to you guys about, older ones. Here again when she says older one, Curry says she means teens and up, the ones who have regularly commented on my videos actually talked to me. I just hope that she's still around for the upcoming Elder Scrolls 6 and see her retake her helmet once again. Gaming is for everyone, regardless of age. Whenever I saw her playing, it made me think of my parents when they played only Mario, Tetris, and Candy Crush on mobile. My mother not only played Candy Crush, but she also played Farmville many years ago. My parents were never huge gamers or anything like that, but in the days of the NES, they loved playing Mario with me and my siblings. It was a beautiful, happy time. Very beautiful. Well, Skyrim Grandma, all I can say is good luck to you and keep on going. And I do pray you can see Elder Scrolls 6. Looking forward to that day. And now for the final news of the day. Peacemaker is a TV series based on a DC Comics anti-hero of the same name, starring former WWE superstar John Cena as Christopher Smith, aka Peacemaker. The TV series premiered in 2022 and it's back in its second season as part of the DCU created by James Gunn. The DCU officially began with the premiere of Superman almost 3 months ago, which some people loved, others didn't love so much. Warning, what I'm about to talk about contains some spoilers. In this new season, the 6th episode of Peacemaker, Christopher discovers an alternate reality known as Earth X, a world in which the Nazis won World War II and conquered America. The 7th episode confirmed that anyone who isn't white is locked up in camps. James Gunn didn't dive too deeply into that, but a few different lines of dialogue painted a horrifying picture of what a world where races are the majority could look like. Of course, it is expected that negative reactions on social media to how Nazis are portrayed, because these people who reacted negatively to it will call the show woke and political. I am never ever surprised about this thing, because of course, these are the same people who cry about how young people and leftists are too easily offended. These people who got offended over LGBTQ inclusion, BIPOC protagonists, and strong female leads says so much about them. Politics and superhero stories have always existed since the comics and touched about different subjects such as racism, sexism, civil rights, homophobia, transphobia, classism, ableism, and so on. Well, politics is a pretty touchy subject nowadays given the current cultural and social political climate. In an interview with GQ, Gunn said the following: "The show delights me. I really do whatever I want with Peacemaker, and I mean in one respect, I do whatever I want with anything because I'm able to make my own choices and I'm my own boss. But with Peacemaker, we really let it go. We take chances, we go to places where I think of other people are afraid to go to. We've got a lot of pushbacks from various sources within the structure on this episode in particular, and we're like, let's not be bashful about this. Let's just do the story that we want to do, and I don't want to pull punches with it." And it's interesting because there hasn't been that sort of, I have a few racists have caught me polarizing, but I'm okay with being polarizing and letting racists fall to the wayside. People have loved this episode the most, it's exciting. Now, people getting angry at the portrayal of Nazis in this episode reminds me of the premiere of the Arrowverse crossover Crisis on Earth X in 2017. People were getting pissed off and calling it woke because the superheroes in this crossover were fighting against the Nazis that attempted to invade Earth 1 to put it in the grip of the Reich. And Team Arrow, Team Supergirl, Team Flash, and Team Legends went to Earth X to help the freedom fighters fight against the Nazis. To those people crying woke, let me tell you something. Superheroes, since they were first created, have fought the Nazis, and they would totally fight against the alt-right today. Superman fought the Nazis and the Klan. Captain America fought the Nazis, and he will totally fight against the alt-right. Wonder Woman also fought the Nazis and hated for what they stood for. Captain America hated for what the Nazis stood for. Superman hated for what the Nazis stood for. Because the Nazis are inhuman monsters. The portrayal of the Nazis in Crisis on Earth X and in the Peacemaker episode is indeed accurate, because the Nazis hated anyone that they deemed as undesirables, such as Jews, Africans, Hispanics, Asians, homosexuals, transgenders, and those who were physically and mentally disabled, all in the name of their so-called purity. If the accurate portrayal of the Nazis bothered these complainers so much, then that says all about them. Because they're defending racism, bigotry, and prejudice, which are the three greatest ills of humanity. Racism is humanity at its worst, and so is sexism, homophobia, transphobia, and ableism. Stan Lee said that racism and bigotry are the greatest social ills in this world. If you're a racist and a bigot, then you didn't get Stan Lee. And that's pretty much the weekly news, folks. Thank you for coming here today, and be sure to watch my live stream on my gaming channel, Twitch, and Kick channels as well. Links in the description. This is John of Video Games in the World signing off. Till next week, everyone. Bye.